The suburban movement seemed like a good idea when it first started, offering middle-class city dwellers a reprieve from congested and dirty cities. But now suburbs are blamed for many societal woes that range from childhood obesity to pollution. Here with a historical look at suburbia and a new land use plan for San Diego are my guests, urban planner Howard Blackson, chair of California's Congress for the New Urbanism, and Benjamin Ross, author of Dead End, Suburban Sprawl, and the Rebirth of American Urbanism. Welcome.
Thank you.
Benjamin, how did the suburb go from being a refuge of what you describe in your book, from being a refuge to what you describe in your book as a development of McMansions and strip malls?
Well, what changed was that it became necessary to have an automobile to get anywhere. And then we were no longer walking around. We couldn't get places. The roads got congested.
And Howard, how does San Diego compare with other sprawling cities in California as far as either urbanism and or urban sprawl?
I think we compare very well because we are an older city that's actually quite young, but our pattern began long ago, several hundred years ago. We're not in the Midwest just sprawling. We're not, a majority of our city was built before the automobile dominated our pattern.
So we have a little bit of a difference. And Benjamin, how would you describe urbanism in 2014?
It's coming back. People want to live downtown. They want to walk. They want to take the train. There's a tremendous market demand out there, and the government has to catch up.
And coming back to San Diego, Howard, how does that new urbanism, since you were saying our city was older before, how does it look now in 2014?
Well, we're accommodating more for the car. So before we only accommodated for a streetcar or walking or horses or boats, and today we bring the car into play. So the idea that the new urbanism is old urbanism plus today's contemporary issues.
And both of you were bringing up what I'm hearing is suburbia, it would be impossible without the car. So Benjamin, how well are cities in the U.S. meeting the need for efficient transportation with this move, or I should say shift back to urbanism?
We're way behind the ball. We need to be investing in transit. We should be building rail lines all over the country. China is building dozens and dozens of new subway lines. We're falling behind.
And Howard, are we doing that here in San Diego?
Not as well as our competitor cities are. Denver, Salt Lake are building streetcars, light rail, commuter rail, and we're still struggling with what type of rail we want to include in our urbanized neighborhoods. BRT, streetcar are coming, but they're not here yet.
If your plan, if you could have a magic wand and your plan would go, where would you put this light rail? How would you do it?
Well, I believe the light rail would work well to getting us to Rancho Bernardo and back because that's where the majority of the people live, and getting it back to where work is. I also would say we should have streetcars downtown and in our urban neighborhoods, North Park, La Jolla, and then we could have a high-speed rail that takes us from our airport to Sacramento and beyond. So the variety of rail would be a better thing than just using light rail for one size fits all.
Well, I know, Howard, you were also involved with the San Diego's new Civic Innovation Lab, which has been defunded in the mayor's proposed new budget. If this lab goes away, what kind of impact do you think that'll have on urban planning here?
Well, I believe that the mayor's wanting to invest in the community plan updates and using the money to do that.
Okay. Okay. Benjamin, the long-term problems of suburbia, they really weren't addressed 50 years ago when it started. At least it doesn't seem so now. What kind of long-term impact should we be thinking at when we see this sort of renewed interest in moving back to central cities?
Well, this happens over decades. The Washington Metro was built out where I lived 30 years ago, and the strip malls further out along the line are only now being rebuilt. It takes time.
And Howard, how about you? What sort of long-term problems would you like to see addressed before San Diego really makes this reality of the urbanism?
I believe we should be implementing our City of Villages plan. It's a very good idea, a very good plan, an award-winning plan, and figuring out how to transition to transit-oriented development rather than going completely to a downtown scale in our very nice, quaint quality of life, high quality of life neighborhoods.
Okay, so a little bit at a time.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot more on our website at kpbs.org. Howard Blackson and Benjamin Ross, thank you very much.
It's great to be here. Thank you.